Okay, I'm back. I'm going to do a quick cleanup tutorial. I use just a little glass to put my acetone in. I don't fill it all the way up, just a little bit in the bottom is all it takes. This is the brush that I use. It's just an inexpensive synthetic bristle art brush that's I always try and find ones that are stiff and have a good straight edge so that I get clean lines when I do it. This is actually my favorite one. The bristles on this are stiff, but they're not hard, if that makes sense, so I can get I can get in really close without the bristles ever touching the nail where I don't want it to. So, get my stuff out of the way here. Okay. I dip it in the acetone and then brush most of it off. And I always do the outside edges first, and I re-dip it. You don't want too much acetone on your brush or it'll pool and then it'll mess up the edge of your polish or kind of melt it away. That's not what we're going for, so that's why I always brush it off kind of on the sides of the glass. But I'm just taking off that little bit that you sometimes get around the edge on your fingers. And if you like to have the little gap at the top, this is the best way to clean it up. I'm kind of doing this backwards, so just take the brush and follow the curve of your nail right at the cuticle so that you get the same line. Some people, I have been told, don't do it with the shape of their cuticle if they want it, if they want the shape to be more rounded than what the base of their cuticle is, then they'll round it up there, which makes sense. I guess it would kind of mimic the free edge if that's how they do their nails. I'm going to see if I can zoom this in so you can see exactly what I'm doing without everything else in the way. Maybe get a better idea of... See, I'm just taking this off of the little bit that gets down in the corner and on the skin. I'm pretty particular about it because when I take the pictures with the macro shot, you can see every little tiny bit of nail polish that you did not get exactly where you wanted it. You can see every imperfection in the lines. So I tend to be a little bit pickier about it than probably most people would be. I don't really need to do much of anything to this one, but just so you can see, if I can get my hand to not shake, I just brush it back here right along the cuticle. That way if there's any, this one I actually need to do it so I can show you better, just to get any off that's not the shape that I want it at the cuticle. And if any happens to have gotten up under the cuticle, then I'll clean that at the same time. Didn't really make too much of a mess on the sides of this one. Okay, so you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I got the shape odd. It's not really rounded, so I'm just going to take this and smooth that around to get exactly the shape that I want it, and gives it a nice clean line all the way around. Get all of the extra and get it, try and get it where you can see. Sorry, I have a cold, so I'm trying not to sniffle too much. Some people like to have a gap all the way down the side. I don't. I just like mine up around the cuticle base and just a little bit right here. And that's just because some polishes will stain in there, and if you're going to be wearing a light polish after a dark polish, then you don't really want to have this little black line in that part of your nail as you're, when you're wearing that pastel pink polish. So I clean mine up right there. But if you want that line all the way down, it would be easiest to do it when you're polishing, to kind of leave that area unpolished. But if not, you can just take the brush and go straight down the side a couple of times, and that should give you that clean line all the way down. A lot of people are using an eyeliner brush for cleanup, and that's fine if that's what you have. I did when I first started, but the bristles started falling out after a little bit and lost their shape, so I switched to a synthetic brush because the acetone doesn't seem to affect it at all. Okay, I think you can see it now. I'll back it back out so you can see all of them. And that's it. Just a real simple cleanup. Nothing. I know, if you've never done it, it looks more complicated than it is. But after you've done it a few times, it gets easier and easier the more times you do it. And just like, polishing, leaving that little gap, the more you do it, the easier it is to do it without, really needing any cleanup. So, after a while, doing the cleanup will be pretty much just an occasional thing. And for me, it's usually when I'm using a new brand, or certain brands that I have a problem with their brushes, like Sally Hansen. So that's it, and I hope that helps somebody.